Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Now this is just a few scriptures that I was, meditating on pretty much, staying on the right path in this faith, the pathway to salvation, all right? Which is, a lot of things are, a lot of scriptures are coming to the brain now that I never writ down. But, staying on that pathway, man. Few there be, one that just came into my brain now was, few there be that find it, that path of light, man. Many that be destroyed, but few find the path of life, man. So which the path of life is to follow the truth, which is in Yahweh Shai, right? Which is going to end up being your salvation, pretty much, being saved, being delivered from the destruction, from the nuclear destruction, from all the things that are going to take place on the earth. There's a chance you can be delivered from that, man. But you have to stay on the path, man, because, the fight is hard, but you got to stay on the path, man, on the tightrope. You have to stay on it. So this is 2 Ezra 7:7. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place. I'll read it from I'll just read it from 7, but this is obviously basically as a reference to, what it's like being in this faith, all right? What a walk for an Israelite man in this truth, all right? So this is 2 Ezra 7:7. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, all right? And the pathway, basically like the pathway to life in this faith, is a narrow path, man. And on either side is dangers and perils, man. It just mentioned fire and water on either side, which those two elements can kill you, man. And that fire and that water pretty much represents, the things out in this society, pretty much, the worldly affairs of this world, women, dragging you out of this faith, demons, succumbing to the evil spirits that defeat you to pull you out of this faith, family, all the things that really don't matter, so-called family anyway, mothers, fathers, they pull you out of the faith. They do stuff like that, people that want to make you worldly. That's part of that. That's like perils. They're like fire and water on either side, man. So it says, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Exactly. So on either side is that fire and the water, the perils of destruction, and that one path, only one man can go through that one path at once, man. All right. So that shows you how deadly and dangerous, pretty much this truth is, because on either side is perils, man, destruction on either sides, man. So that's referring to this society. You want to walk on the right path. You want to keep walking on that tightrope, man. And when you see people, when you watch circus acts and stuff and they walk on a tightrope, they're very controlled. I mean, I'm sure you've got really skilled ones that can run across the tightrope. But for the most part, they take it step by step. They're very slow on the tightrope, but they balance so they make it to the other side. So that's how it is in this faith. You have to be in the tightrope. You have to be on that lane and don't sway and fall from either side, man, because that's where the destructions be at. So it says, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Yeah, so one man only could pass through that lane at once, man. Could go on that tightrope at once. So, it was the thoughts that was making me think about basically staying on the path. You have to stay on the right path, man, in this truth, man. And then the end of the path is what? Salvation, man. Which is the key for all of us. We all want to be delivered. We want to be delivered from this kingdom, man. From the perils that are coming. We want salvation from it, man. So this is I'm gonna read this here. Matthew 7. Matthew 7 and 24. Matthew 7 and 24. So look at Matthew 7:24. It says, "Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock." All right, this is Yahweh Shai talking, man. Yahweh Shai was going in, he was speaking in parables, but he was basically referring to, what if you believe in on him, he's gonna give you that rock solid foundation, man. So I'm gonna read it. So this is Yahweh Shai's parables, but it's true, man. Because if you believe in Yahweh Shai and your faith is firm, you're gonna keep walking on that path, man. You're not gonna sway either side for anyone, man. You're gonna walk that path, man, and you're gonna follow the right path, man. All right, for salvation. So therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and that's all that's mattering to you. All that matters to us is salvation, man. All right. So it says, "Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock." Exactly. So Yahweh Shai is referring to you believing on him in the right way, doing the right things. Your foundations in his faith, your belief is going to be solid, man. It's going to be unmovable. All right. So it says, and the rain descended. Yeah, and when the rains and floods came, that's like the it can be like let's say literal rains and floods. If you have a rock solid house, nothing can destroy it. But then it's like, like you're spiritually firm, man. And the demons that are messing with you, you battle them. The demons out in this world, this society, you battle them. Your woman, you battle her. Your so-called family, so-called woman as well, and your so-called family, you battle them. Nothing's gonna, basically nothing's gonna sway you. Nothing's gonna get into your force field, man. You're gonna be solid in your belief, man. And that's a fight, but every day is that fight. You have to keep it up. That's what wearies down. That everyday fight is what wearies our flesh apart, man, because we're doing this fight constantly. But this is what makes us grow spiritually, man. So you got to walk on that path, man. All right, and and another thing that was popping in my head: walk on that path and have humility too, man. Make sure you practice in humility. So it says, "And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand." Exactly. But if you don't walk that path, you don't hear these sayings of the Lord, you're not doing what the Lord said, your house is going to be built upon sand, man. All right, your house is going to be built upon sand, man. It says, "And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes." Yeah, because Yahushua told them straight up what it is, man. So if you do the works of the Lord and you're keeping on that righteous path, man, you're gonna have your foundation's gonna be solid, man. But if you're swaying off the path, all right, and choosing other things before the faith, what happens? You become all mushy, man. You're gonna become like that sand, man, because you're letting other things come before the path of salvation, man. And really, really, when you really go into it, man, and this is something that obviously, Lord willing, we're growing into, man. But all you should be thinking about is salvation. Nothing else really matters. Nothing on this earthly realm really matters but to be saved. That's what should always be constantly in your mind, whether you're at work, whether you're just, you're going to the store, you're walking to the shops, whatever, you're going shopping, you're seeing what's going on outside. Always in our minds, it should be salvation, man. In the midst of this fight, hey, I can see all these things because the Lord's opened my mind to see this, man. And I want to be delivered in the end of all this, man. All right? So you wanna do the things the Lord said to do so that you can have that, you can be unmovable and you can also keep walking that path, man. Because if you stop concentrating on the Lord, what happens is the Lord's going to start giving you over to these spirits, man. You're going to start swaying off the path, man. All right? So I'm going to read this here. This is And I'm going to end it on this here. This is 2 Timothy 2 and 3. 2 Timothy 2 and 3. It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. All right, you have to endure hardness, man. All right, it says, no man that warreth, that part there, enduring hardness, because even when you look at like soldiers and stuff, like war movies and things like that, like especially like ancient movies, like movies on Rome and things, you see those men, they might have had a tough battle. Sometimes they might have lost. And then you see them walking back to the barracks and, they're battered and bruised. They've been out in the cold for months, for days, for weeks in the rain. But they're still firm, man. They have to endure it. They ain't got a choice. It's like us, really. The Lord's woke. See, we didn't choose the Lord. He chose us, man. So we ain't got a choice, man. You have to stick at it. You have to endure that hardness. Be firm, man. This is what the predicament the Lord's put me in. Well, you know what? I'm gonna eat this, man. I'm gonna endure this, man. I'm gonna stay on this path, man. All right. So it says, therefore, endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man also, so that's the point. It says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Yeah, because we're at war. So the thing is, if we're in this spiritual battle that we're in, if all of a sudden, you want to start living the dainty lifestyle of this world, but then trying to be spiritual at the same time, it don't work, man. Those things don't balance, man. Those things, you have, not say don't balance. What's the word? Those things don't mix, man. You choose one. You're at war, so you have to stay in a firm mind frame, man. See, when you're like living in luxury, you ain't got a mentality of war, man. Anything's easily, your force fields are easily penetrated, man, because you ain't got the mentality of war. That's why even, for example, women, just as an example, women always love the dudes that are the most worldly guys, man. Why? Because them most worldly dudes that get all these women, they haven't got a war mentality. They're not fighting spiritually. They're fighting carnally, man. That's why all them carnal things come to them. But with that carnal pleasures that come to them, hey, the best believe a lot of demons is coming in there too. But when you're in the warrior mentality for Yahweh Shai, you're more protected, man. Even though, demons are going to fuck with us, we've got more of a protection though. So it says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Yeah, that's the parties, the dainties, trying to prosper in this society. That's the affairs of this life, man. That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Exactly. So we please the Lord by doing these things, by walking on the tightrope, walking that path to salvation, not swaying to the left or the right, but keeping that tunnel vision that pleases the Lord, man. So, I was just thinking about them kind of things, because, sometimes you can get those things where you might be caught up with, whether it's work, whether it's moving homes, or, you're caught, things are happening. And see, we do this, whether you're being made homeless. See, we do this work, but real life happens too, man. While we're doing this work, real life things are happening with brothers, man. But the main thing is to just keep doing the work, man. In the midst of all of that, man, you have to keep doing the work, man. That's the only way, man. You can't give up. You have to keep at it, man. So, with that, I'm just going to say all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash Brakatam. Shalom. Shalom.